God says, 2 minutes left. This is not a joke. This is about your own money. 2 people from your family are taking all of it. Don't skip. I am speaking to you with urgency, because what I am revealing right now concerns your own money and the quiet actions of 2 people from your family who are taking all of it. And if you ignore these words, you may miss a turning point that protects your blessing and secures your future in a way you did not expect. I am not stirring fear inside you, but I am opening your eyes to something that has been happening in the shadows while you have been trusting and hoping that everything around you was safe and secure. Within these next moments, I am exposing what has been hidden, and I am doing it because I love you and because I refuse to let what belongs to you be drained away without your awareness. Type 1111 in the comments. There are 2 people from your family who have been positioning themselves around your resources, slowly taking all of it through manipulation, silence, or misuse. And you have sensed something was not right, even though you tried to dismiss the feeling as doubt or insecurity. I am telling you clearly that this is about your own money, your provision, your hard work, and the blessings I have placed in your hands for your future and for the good plans I have prepared for you. Do not scroll away from this word, because I am giving you insight that can prevent loss and release restoration. And if this reaches your heart at the right time, it can become the breakthrough that changes everything for you. If you feel this stirring inside you, take a moment to like this video as an act of agreement with the protection I am placing over your finances and your household. I am not saying this to create division inside your family, but I am revealing it because I see what you cannot always see, and I know how subtle financial betrayal can appear when it is wrapped in familiarity and shared history. These 2 people from your family may not even fully understand the weight of what they are doing, yet their actions are draining what I intended to multiply in your life. This is why I said there are 2 minutes left, because there is a narrow window in which awareness can stop further loss and reposition you for stability and peace. When I speak about your own money, I am speaking about the fruit of your labor, the dreams you have attached to it, and the security you believed was being built for your future. You are not foolish for trusting, and you are not weak for loving your family deeply. But you must understand that wisdom and love can walk together without canceling each other. I am calling you to pay attention to patterns, to quiet transactions, to sudden changes in behavior, and to financial details that were once clear but have now become hidden or confusing. The 2 people from your family who are taking all of it have relied on your silence and your reluctance to confront uncomfortable truths, yet I am strengthening your spirit so you can stand firm without anger and without fear. Comment 1010. I want you to know that I am not abandoning you in this situation, because even if money has been slipping away, I am still your provider, and I am still able to restore what was taken and rebuild what was weakened. This is not only about stopping loss, but about teaching you discernment so that future blessings are guarded with wisdom and courage. When I say this is about your own money, I mean that what I entrusted to you carries purpose beyond daily survival, and it was never meant to become a source of hidden advantage for others. I am placing a shield around your finances, and I am guiding you step by step so that you act calmly, wisely, and with clarity rather than reacting from emotion. The phrase 2 minutes left is not about panic but about urgency, because delay can allow damage to continue quietly while you hope things will correct themselves without intervention. I am asking you to review what has been ignored, to speak gently but firmly where necessary, and to seek transparency where there has been confusion. You are chosen and favored, and that favor includes protection over your resources, protection over your opportunities, and protection over the future I am preparing for you. Even if 2 people from your family are taking all of it right now, They cannot override my authority over your life, and they cannot block the doors I am opening for you. I am turning this situation into a lesson that strengthens you rather than breaks you, and I am using it to sharpen your understanding so that your generosity is balanced with wisdom. Your own money will not disappear without accountability, because I am intervening at the right time and aligning circumstances to expose what needs to be seen. The two people from your family who are taking all of it have grown comfortable in patterns that benefit them while slowly weakening your stability, and I am not willing to let that pattern continue without interruption. You have felt moments of unease when numbers did not add up, or when explanations sounded rushed and incomplete. Yet you pushed those feelings aside because you did not want to believe that family could mishandle what belongs to you. I am now strengthening that inner voice inside you so that you no longer ignore it, because discernment is one of the ways I protect my children. When I said there were 2 minutes left, I was revealing that there is a critical point where awareness must turn into action, and that point has arrived for you. I do not want you to move in anger or to accuse without clarity, but I want you to calmly review accounts, agreements, shared responsibilities, and any access that has been given too freely without boundaries. Your own money carries responsibility, and you must steward it with wisdom rather than leaving it exposed in the hands of those who have shown carelessness or selfishness. I am not separating you from your family, but I am separating you from patterns that drain you and threaten your future. What's really behind the 7-second brain trick exploding online? A leaked CIA ritual is turning heads and bank balances. Backed by neuroscience labs, this at-home method removes money blocks and unlocks unstoppable wealth flow. But the page could vanish any time. Click the link in the first comment before it's permanently deleted. The two people from your family who are taking all of it may have justified their actions by convincing themselves that you would not notice or that you would eventually accept it as normal, yet I am breaking that illusion today. You are not called to finance the irresponsibility of others at the cost of your own peace and progress. I am reminding you that generosity does not mean silence in the face of misuse, and love does not require you to ignore warning signs that continue to repeat themselves. You can love deeply while still protecting what I have placed in your hands. I want you to understand that this is also a spiritual lesson about boundaries and courage, because money often reveals hidden attitudes and unspoken expectations within families. Some people assume access simply because of shared blood, yet access without accountability becomes a doorway for imbalance and resentment. I am guiding you to close doors that were opened without structure, and to rebuild financial interactions with clarity and written agreements if necessary. This is not harshness, this is stewardship, and stewardship honors me. Comment Amen. When you say that word with sincerity, you are aligning your heart with my protection and declaring that you trust me to restore what has been taken and to guard what remains. Even if there has been loss, I am able to multiply what is left in ways that will surprise you and rebuild what seemed impossible to recover. I am not limited by what two people from your family have done, and I am not shaken by temporary setbacks in your own money. I am greater than the loss, and I am stronger than the misuse. You may feel conflicted because confronting financial issues within a family can feel uncomfortable and heavy, yet discomfort is sometimes the doorway to freedom and balance. If you continue to ignore what is happening, frustration will quietly grow and eventually damage relationships in deeper ways. I am giving you courage now so that you address this situation with calm authority rather than waiting until anger forces you to speak. The timing I have chosen is intentional, and I am surrounding you with clarity so that you move wisely rather than impulsively. The phrase 2 minutes left also carries a deeper meaning about opportunity, because there is still time to correct what is wrong before it becomes more complicated and harder to untangle. You have not lost everything, even if it feels like two people from your family are taking all of it, because I have preserved more for you than you realize. There are resources still within reach, and there are new streams of provision that I am preparing to open once you establish proper boundaries. You are not at the end. You are at a turning point. I want you to take practical steps without fear, such as reviewing shared access, changing passwords where necessary, securing documents, and seeking advice from someone trustworthy who understands financial structure. These steps are not acts of suspicion, they are acts of responsibility, and responsibility strengthens your future. When you protect your own money, you are honoring the work you have done and the plans I have placed in your heart. You are also teaching others that respect and transparency are required in every shared responsibility. Comment 1212. By declaring that phrase, you are affirming your faith that I am in control and that nothing taken from you escapes my sight or my ability to restore. I see every transaction, every quiet decision, and every moment when you doubted your own perception. I am clearing the fog around you so that you can see truth without distortion and act without hesitation. This clarity is part of my protection over your life. Do not allow guilt to silence you, because sometimes guilt is used as a tool to keep you passive while your own money continues to disappear. You are not selfish for wanting fairness, and you are not unspiritual for expecting honesty. I am a God of justice and balance, and I care about how resources are handled because they affect stability, trust, and future growth. When something is out of order, I call my children to bring it back into alignment rather than pretending everything is fine. The two people from your family who are taking all of it may react defensively when confronted, yet their reaction does not define the truth. Stay calm, stay steady, and remain grounded in facts rather than emotions. I am giving you wisdom to speak clearly and to request accountability without raising your voice or attacking their character. Your strength will be found in composure and clarity. Remember that I am your provider above every human connection, and your security does not depend solely on what is currently in your accounts. Even if there has been financial damage, I am able to rebuild faster than loss occurred. I can open doors of opportunity that exceed what was taken, and I can position you in places of favor that compensate for past misuse. Trust that I am already working on restoration while you take steps toward protection. This situation will not define you, and it will not permanently harm your future, because I am turning it into a moment of awakening and empowerment. You are learning to balance kindness with wisdom, generosity with structure, and love with boundaries. That balance will protect you long after this current issue is resolved. Your own money will no longer be vulnerable in the same way, and your discernment will grow stronger with each decision you make under my guidance. I see the tension that rises in your chest when you think about it, and I understand how difficult it is to accept that those close to you may have crossed boundaries that should have been respected. I am guiding you carefully through this so that truth is established without destroying your peace or your faith. The secret ritual they never wanted public is finally out. A 7-second brain technique backed by leaked CIA data and 4 neuroscience labs is helping families erase debt and attract money on autopilot. But this miracle won't stay public long. Click the link in the description and comments now before it's gone forever. There is a reason I warned you with urgency, because silent loss over time can become a heavy burden that slowly erodes confidence and future plans. Your own money was meant to build stability, to support your calling, and to create space for growth, not to become a hidden stream that others quietly depend on without your consent. I am calling you to observe clearly where resources are going and to recognize patterns that repeat without proper explanation. This clarity is not suspicion, it is awareness, and awareness is part of wisdom. You may notice that excuses have become common, or that conversations about finances are redirected or avoided altogether. These are signs that something needs to be brought into the light, rather than allowed to remain in confusion. When two people from your family are taking all of it, there is often an assumption that you will continue tolerating the imbalance because you value harmony over confrontation. I am strengthening you now so that harmony is built on truth rather than silence. It is important for you to understand that protecting your own money does not make you hard or selfish, because stewardship is an act of obedience and responsibility. I entrusted resources to you with purpose, and that purpose cannot flourish if everything is constantly being diverted without structure. You are not called to fund the carelessness of others, especially when it begins to limit your ability to move forward in the plans I have placed in your heart. I am teaching you to say no when necessary, not with anger, but with calm conviction and steady resolve. Comment 777. As you write that phrase, you are declaring that divine order is being restored over your finances and over every hidden transaction that has taken place. I am bringing order where there has been confusion, and I am aligning your steps with protection and clarity. You will begin to see details more clearly, and you will sense when something is not aligned with fairness and transparency. That sensitivity is not anxiety, it is discernment sharpening inside you. When I speak about two people from your family taking all of it, I am also revealing that this pattern may have developed gradually rather than suddenly. Small permissions became larger expectations, and temporary support turned into assumed entitlement. I want you to gently review where boundaries were blurred and where verbal agreements were never clearly defined. You are allowed to reset expectations and to redefine access in a way that protects your own money moving forward. There may be fear that addressing this situation will create distance or tension, yet unresolved imbalance creates a deeper fracture over time. I am preparing you to speak with clarity and documentation rather than emotion and accusation. When you approach this calmly, focusing on facts and shared responsibility, you will stand on solid ground rather than shifting feelings. I am with you in those conversations, guiding your tone and steadying your heart. Remember that restoration is possible even after misuse, because I am not limited by past loss. If two people from your family have taken all of it over time, I can still rebuild faster than it was drained. I can open opportunities, increase income streams, and align you with financial favor that compensates for what was mishandled. Your future is not defined by the mistakes of others. At the same time, I want you to grow stronger in structure and oversight, because wisdom prevents repeated cycles. Consider separating accounts where necessary, limiting shared access, and creating written agreements that clearly outline responsibilities. These steps are not acts of distrust, they are acts of maturity and protection. You are stepping into a new level of stewardship that will serve you long after this situation is resolved. Comment 555. When you declare that phrase, you are affirming that grace is still flowing over your life, even in the midst of financial correction. Grace does not mean ignoring truth, but it means moving through truth with dignity and calm assurance. I am pouring grace over your heart so that bitterness does not take root while you address what needs to be corrected. Your spirit will remain steady even if conversations feel uncomfortable at first. You may also need to forgive quietly in your heart, not because what happened was acceptable, but because holding anger will only drain you further. Forgiveness does not cancel accountability, and accountability does not cancel love. You can release resentment while still insisting on fairness and transparency regarding your own money. I am teaching you how to hold both truth and compassion in the same space. This moment is shaping you into someone who understands value, boundaries, and the importance of protecting what has been entrusted to them. Two people from your family may not have expected you to become aware so clearly, yet awareness is rising within you now. You will not be manipulated by guilt or pressured into silence any longer. I am strengthening your backbone while keeping your heart soft. Your financial future will not collapse because of this, because I am already placing safeguards around your path. I am aligning you with wise counsel, practical solutions, and opportunities that restore stability. Even if adjustments must be made, they will lead you into a more secure and structured season. You will look back on this period as the time when you learned to guard your blessings with courage. When two people from your family are taking all of it, there is often a subtle erosion of your voice, where you begin to question whether you even have the right to speak up. I am removing that hesitation from your heart and replacing it with steady assurance, because you do have the right to protect what is yours. I am not asking you to become harsh or suspicious, but I am calling you to become firm, clear, and grounded in truth. Is this leaked CIA ritual the missing key to your financial breakthrough? A once hidden brain ritual is spreading fast. This strange 7-second method, confirmed by elite neuroscience labs, activates your brain's wealth magnet. The government may shut this down. If you're seeing this, you are God's chosen child. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted. There may have been moments when you sensed something was wrong, yet you convinced yourself that you were overthinking or being too sensitive. That pattern of self-doubt has allowed the situation to continue longer than it should have, and I am now breaking that cycle within you. Your awareness is not paranoia, it is perception, and perception is a gift I use to guard my children. When you feel that quiet nudge telling you to look deeper into a financial detail, I want you to honor it rather than dismiss it. The fact that two people from your family are taking all of it does not mean they are beyond redemption, but it does mean their access must be re-evaluated. Access without accountability will always create imbalance, and imbalance eventually harms everyone involved. I am guiding you to shift from blind trust to wise trust, where love is still present, but structure is clearly established. This shift will protect your own money and also protect relationships from deeper damage in the future. You may be afraid that stepping into this new strength will change how others see you, yet growth often changes dynamics that were built on uneven ground. Some people are comfortable when you remain passive and accommodating, but they may resist when you begin to set boundaries. Their discomfort is not a sign that you are wrong, it is a sign that patterns are being disrupted. I am giving you the courage to stand in this new posture without apology. Comment 999. As you write that phrase, you are declaring completion over an old cycle of silence and stepping into a new season of protection and clarity. I am closing the door on hidden drain and opening the door to restored stability and wisdom. The chapter where two people from your family quietly took all of it is coming to an end because you are no longer unaware or hesitant. Awareness changes everything, and awareness has now risen inside you. I also want you to examine how this situation has affected your sense of worth, because financial misuse can quietly make you feel undervalued or taken for granted. When your own money is treated as if it belongs to everyone except you, it can distort your understanding of your own value. I am correcting that distortion right now, reminding you that what you earn and manage is significant and deserves respect. You are not a source to be drained, you are a steward to be honored. This is the time to document everything clearly, to gather information, and to approach conversations with evidence rather than emotion. Facts will steady you when reactions become intense, and preparation will protect you from being sidetracked by excuses. If two people from your family deny or minimize what has happened, your clarity will keep you grounded. You are not entering this blindly. because I am equipping you with insight and calm resolve. There may be practical adjustments that feel uncomfortable at first, such as removing shared access, creating separate financial paths, or redefining support in a more structured way. These changes are not punishment, they are correction, and correction leads to health. When your own money is managed with boundaries, you will feel relief rather than tension. That relief will confirm that you are moving in alignment with my guidance. Comment 222. When you declare that phrase, you are affirming alignment between heaven and your earthly decisions regarding your finances. I am aligning circumstances in your favor, even if the process feels challenging at first. The two people from your family who were taking all of it will not have the same level of influence over your resources anymore. Influence is shifting, and authority is returning to where it belongs. I also want you to prepare your heart for mixed reactions, because change often reveals hidden expectations that others never voiced openly. Some may express disappointment or frustration when boundaries are set, especially if they benefited from the previous arrangement. Stay steady and do not allow emotional pressure to reverse your progress. You are not responsible for maintaining comfort at the cost of your own security. Your own money is part of the future I am building with you, and that future includes stability, generosity, and growth that flows from abundance rather than depletion. I am not limiting you to recovery. I am positioning you for increase beyond what was lost. Even if two people from your family have taken all of it over time, I can multiply what remains and expand what is coming next. Trust that my provision does not run dry because of human failure. You will also grow wiser in who you consult and who you allow into your financial decisions moving forward. Not everyone needs full visibility into what you manage, and not everyone is prepared to handle responsibility with integrity. I am refining your circle and sharpening your discernment so that trust is placed wisely. This refinement is part of your protection. Do not carry shame for not seeing everything sooner, because growth often comes through experience rather than theory. What matters is that you see clearly now and are willing to act in alignment with truth. I am not condemning you for past leniency. I am guiding you into stronger stewardship. Every lesson learned here will strengthen your future and safeguard your next season. As you continue walking through this, keep your spirit anchored in peace rather than reaction. Peace will help you speak calmly, listen carefully, and respond wisely. You do not need to shout to be heard, and you do not need to accuse to establish truth. Your steady confidence will speak louder than emotion ever could. This is a refining moment where I am teaching you how to stand without aggression and how to protect without fear. You are not becoming cold, you are becoming wise, and wisdom will preserve both your resources and your peace. What if 7 seconds is all it takes to flip your financial fate? A shocking CIA leak just exposed a hidden brain ritual helping ordinary people erase debt and pull in massive wealth. Backed by 4 neuroscience labs, this at-home method is turning struggle into luxury fast. But this page could be erased any moment. Click the link in the first comment now before it's gone forever. There may have been subtle pressure placed on you, emotional language that made you feel obligated to continue supporting patterns that were no longer healthy. That pressure may have sounded like family loyalty or shared responsibility, yet beneath it was imbalance that steadily drained your strength. I am breaking the invisible chains of obligation that kept you silent while your own money slipped away unnoticed or unchallenged. You are free to redefine what support looks like, and you are free to say that certain patterns will no longer continue. The two people from your family who were taking all of it may attempt to appeal to history, reminding you of past sacrifices or shared struggles, yet past connection does not justify present misuse. I am reminding you that compassion and accountability can coexist without destroying relationship. You are allowed to express gratitude for the past while still insisting on transparency for the future. This balanced approach will guard your heart from resentment and your finances from further erosion. As you step into this stronger position, you may notice that your posture changes, your voice steadies, and your decisions become more deliberate. That shift is evidence that you are aligning with my wisdom rather than reacting to fear. I am placing confidence within you so that when you speak about your own money, you do so with calm authority instead of hesitation. Authority does not require anger, it requires clarity, and clarity is growing within you now. Comment 1515. When you write that phrase, you are declaring that restoration and protection are advancing together in your life. I am restoring what was mishandled while simultaneously guarding what remains. The season of quiet depletion is closing, and a season of deliberate structure is opening. You will no longer feel uncertain about where your resources are going or who has access to them. I also want you to consider how this experience is reshaping your understanding of trust, because trust without verification can leave room for repeated harm. Moving forward, you will combine trust with oversight, love with documentation, and generosity with clear agreements. This is not suspicion, this is maturity, and maturity will keep your own money secure. You are learning that boundaries are not barriers to love but safeguards for peace. When two people from your family were taking all of it, there may have been moments when you felt isolated, as if no one would understand the tension you were carrying. I am reminding you that I have been present in every moment, observing every hidden detail and preparing this turning point. You were never alone in this, even when you felt confused or unsure about how to respond. My presence has been steady, guiding you toward this awakening. There may also be grief involved, because realizing that boundaries are necessary within family can feel like a loss of innocence. You may miss the simplicity of unquestioned trust, yet that simplicity was costing you stability and peace. I am comforting you in this transition, assuring you that growth sometimes requires letting go of illusions that once felt comforting. What you are gaining now is far more valuable than what you are releasing. Comment 1919. As you declare that phrase, you are affirming completion over old financial patterns and welcoming a new standard of responsibility into your life. I am sealing this transition with clarity and strength, ensuring that your own money will no longer be vulnerable in the same way. The authority over your resources is returning fully to your hands. That authority is supported by my wisdom and sustained by my provision. Moving forward, you will approach financial decisions with renewed attentiveness, reviewing details carefully and asking necessary questions without apology. You will no longer rush into agreements simply to avoid discomfort or preserve surface harmony. Instead, you will prioritize long-term stability over temporary peace. This shift will create stronger foundations not only for you but for those connected to you. If two people from your family respond with resistance, remain steady and do not mirror their intensity. Calm repetition of facts and expectations will carry more power than emotional exchanges ever could. You are stepping into a leadership role within your own financial life, and leadership requires composure. I am strengthening your inner calm, so that nothing said in frustration can shake your resolve. Remember that your own money is a tool for building the future I have placed before you, and that future includes growth, generosity, and security that flows from wise stewardship. I am not only correcting what has happened, I am elevating you into a new level of responsibility that will multiply your impact. Even if two people from your family once took all of it, they cannot take what I am teaching you now. Wisdom once gained cannot be easily lost. This process will leave you stronger, clearer, and more confident in your ability to protect what is yours. You will look back on this season and recognize it as the moment when you fully embraced your role as guardian of your resources. Your own money will serve its intended purpose again, supporting your goals without hidden drain. I am walking with you through every conversation, every adjustment, and every decision. I am undoing that training inside you, replacing passivity with confidence and confusion with structured clarity. This is the stage where you stop reacting to what happened and start building something stronger in its place. You are beginning to see that this situation exposed weak systems that were never designed to protect you long term. Shared access without limits, verbal understandings without written confirmation, and emotional pressure without accountability created a space where your own money could quietly be redirected. I am not bringing this up to shame you, but to help you build smarter foundations from this point forward. Wisdom is being formed through experience, and that wisdom will guard you in seasons ahead. People are asking why money is suddenly flowing into random lives. A leaked CIA discovery reveals a 7-second brain ritual that quietly rewires your mind for wealth. Proven by 4 neuroscience labs, people are wiping out debt and stepping into luxury with ease. If you're seeing this, you're very lucky. Click the link in the description and comments before it disappears. The 2 people from your family who were taking all of it may have assumed that your kindness would always outweigh your caution. They may have grown accustomed to your patience and believed that you would continue absorbing the imbalance without protest. I am changing that narrative completely, because your kindness will now be accompanied by strength and structure. Love will remain, but it will no longer operate without boundaries. There is also a deeper lesson about self-value unfolding within you, because when your own money is mishandled by those close to you, it can quietly communicate that your work and effort are easily overlooked. I am correcting that lie at its root. What you earn, what you build, and what you manage carry dignity and purpose, and they deserve careful stewardship. You are not a backup resource for the irresponsibility of others. You are a steward with divine responsibility. Comment 1717. As you declare that phrase, you are affirming that victory over this cycle is being completed in your life. I am sealing the lesson and strengthening your resolve so that you do not return to old patterns of silent tolerance. The chapter where 2 people from your family quietly drained your own money without firm accountability is closing with clarity. You are stepping into a season where transparency is expected and enforced. Now you will begin to notice subtle shifts within yourself, such as asking direct questions without hesitation and reviewing financial details with calm attention rather than avoidance. These shifts are evidence that growth has taken root. I am sharpening your discernment so that future arrangements will be structured from the beginning rather than corrected after damage occurs. Prevention will replace reaction in your life. When you look at what happened, you may still feel waves of disappointment or disbelief, yet do not allow those feelings to weaken your forward momentum. Emotions are natural, but they are not your guide in this moment. I am guiding you with steady wisdom that is not shaken by temporary feelings. Your own money will no longer move without your awareness and consent. There may be conversations ahead that test your patience, especially if the 2 people from your family resist new limits or question your sudden firmness. Stay grounded and repeat your expectations clearly without escalating tension. Calm consistency will communicate that this change is permanent and not emotional. You are not negotiating your stability, you are establishing it. Comment 1212. When you write that phrase, you are declaring faith that what was lost will not define your future, and that divine order is being restored over every financial detail. I am aligning circumstances so that clarity becomes undeniable and structure becomes sustainable. Your authority over your own money is being fully re-established, Nothing that happened has the power to override my plan for your prosperity and peace. I also want you to recognize that this transformation is preparing you for greater responsibility in the future. Increased wisdom over smaller resources prepares you to handle larger blessings with integrity and foresight. If two people from your family were taking all of it before, imagine how damaging that pattern could have been with even greater amounts. I am correcting this now so that expansion later will be safe and protected. Your financial journey will now include intentional oversight, thoughtful agreements, and limited access granted only where trust has been proven through consistent responsibility. You are not closing your heart. You are refining your circle. This refinement will bring relief and renewed confidence, because you will know that your own money is being managed with integrity and purpose. Over time, you will see that this painful awareness was actually a turning point that strengthened you in ways comfort never could. You will manage resources with a new level of attention and courage, and others will sense that shift in your posture. Respect will naturally increase when boundaries are clearly established and consistently maintained. I am building you into someone who cannot be easily manipulated again. Even if restitution does not come in the exact way you imagine, I am still your ultimate source of increase and restoration. I can compensate for loss through new opportunities, unexpected favor, and disciplined growth that multiplies what remains. Your own money will become a testimony of wisdom gained and protection applied. Nothing taken will be wasted in the greater plan I am unfolding for you. Stay focused on steady progress, rather than dwelling on past missteps. The more you move forward with clarity and discipline, the less power the past will hold over you. Two people from your family may adjust to your new boundaries over time, or they may distance themselves, yet your responsibility is to maintain order regardless of their response. Stability is not built on approval, it is built on consistency. I am proud of the growth unfolding within you, because stepping into financial authority after betrayal requires courage and emotional strength. You are proving that you can love without surrendering your security and forgive without sacrificing your stability. You have learned that silence does not preserve peace when imbalance is present. And you have discovered that avoiding discomfort only postpones necessary correction. Your own money is not simply currency. It represents your time, your effort, and the discipline you applied to earn and manage it. When it was mishandled, a boundary was crossed that needed to be restored. I am showing you that restoring order is not an act of conflict, it is an act of responsibility. The two people from your family who were taking all of it may now realize that the dynamic has shifted and that you are no longer willing to ignore details or overlook inconsistencies. That shift may feel uncomfortable for them, yet it is necessary for long-term balance. You are not attacking them, you are protecting your stewardship. Protection does not require hostility, it requires steady conviction. In this final stage of growth, I want you to establish permanent systems that remove vulnerability from your financial life. Review every shared arrangement, eliminate unnecessary access, and formalize expectations wherever resources are involved. Written agreements, limited permissions, and regular oversight will become part of your new normal. These systems are not signs of distrust, they are pillars of stability. Comment 1010. Why is everyone rushing to this 7-second brain ritual? Leaked CIA files exposed a hidden brainwave technique that opens the door to wealth fast. Verified by 4 top neuroscience labs, it's turning financial stress into abundance almost overnight. But this secret won't stay public for long. Click the link in the pinned comments before it's deleted forever. As you declare that phrase, you are affirming your trust in my continued protection and provision over your finances. I am sealing the lessons you have learned and strengthening your resolve to maintain order. The period when two people from your family could quietly take all of it without firm boundaries is over. Authority has returned fully to your hands, and wisdom is now guarding it. You may notice a growing sense of relief as you implement these changes, because structure often reduces anxiety that was quietly building beneath the surface. When your own money is organized and protected, your mind becomes clearer and your heart becomes lighter. You will begin to think more confidently about future plans, investments, and opportunities because you know that leakage has been addressed. Stability creates room for vision. If there are lingering financial consequences from what happened, face them calmly and create a recovery plan rather than dwelling on regret. Adjust budgets, rebuild savings, and set new targets with discipline and patience. Each small step forward reinforces your authority and reduces the emotional weight of the past. I am walking with you through practical recovery as well as spiritual growth. The two people from your family may gradually adjust to your new boundaries, or they may attempt to test them again. If testing occurs, respond consistently and without escalation, repeating your expectations clearly and calmly. Consistency will communicate that this change is permanent and not negotiable. Your own money will not return to vulnerability because your stance is now firm. Comment 222. When you write that phrase, you are declaring alignment between your decisions and divine order. I am reinforcing that alignment with peace, clarity, and increasing wisdom. The season of hidden drain is finished, and the season of intentional growth has begun. What was once chaotic is now structured and safeguarded. As you move forward, you will carry a new awareness into every financial relationship, asking thoughtful questions before granting access and setting expectations from the beginning. This approach will prevent similar patterns from forming in the future. You are not becoming suspicious, you are becoming strategic. Strategy ensures that generosity flows from strength rather than depletion. Your own money will now reflect discipline, intention, and careful stewardship. It will serve its purpose in building your future, supporting your responsibilities, and creating opportunities that align with my plans for you. Nothing that was mishandled will define your destiny. Instead, it has refined your understanding and strengthened your character. I also want you to release any lingering resentment that may try to resurface, because carrying bitterness would only drain you further. Forgiveness does not erase boundaries, but it protects your peace while boundaries protect your resources. You can move forward without carrying emotional weight from what has already been corrected. Freedom includes both financial stability and emotional release. Look at how far you have come from the moment I first warned you about your own money and the two people from your family who were taking all of it. You were uncertain then, but now you are grounded and prepared. You have replaced hesitation with clarity and replaced silence with structured confidence. That growth will extend into every area of your life. From this point onward, you will operate with attentiveness rather than assumption, and with strength rather than avoidance. Financial decisions will be approached with prayerful reflection and practical review. I will continue guiding you, but you will also rely on the wisdom that has been cultivated through this experience. Your stewardship has matured, and maturity brings lasting stability. I have reversed that shrinking, and now I am anchoring you in a new identity as a wise and confident steward over your own money. This identity will not fade when emotions settle, because it is rooted in understanding rather than impulse. You are beginning to realize that financial clarity brings emotional clarity, because when accounts are transparent and boundaries are respected, tension decreases and peace increases. The chaos you felt before was not random, it was the result of misalignment that had gone unaddressed for too long. I allowed you to see it fully so that you would never again ignore those early warning signs. Awareness has become your ally instead of something you push away. If two people from your family once assumed that your patience meant unlimited access, they are now encountering a different version of you, one who still loves but no longer overlooks details. This version of you is not hardened, but it is alert, thoughtful, and grounded in responsibility. I am proud of the way you have grown through discomfort instead of retreating from it. Growth often feels challenging at first, yet it produces lasting strength. There may still be moments when you reflect on what happened and feel a sting of disappointment, yet do not let that disappointment pull you backward. Instead, let it remind you why structure matters and why your own money must be handled with deliberate care. The lesson has already served its purpose by awakening you, so you do not need to relive it repeatedly. Move forward with the wisdom gained rather than dwelling on the error revealed. Comment 555. As you declare that phrase, you are affirming that grace is covering this transition and empowering you to maintain discipline without bitterness. I am sustaining your heart with calm assurance that you acted at the right time and in the right way. The period when two people from your family quietly took all of it without firm resistance has passed permanently. You are now operating in a new standard of clarity and strength. From this point forward, you will evaluate financial partnerships carefully before granting shared access or responsibility. You will ask necessary questions, request documentation, and define expectations clearly at the beginning rather than assuming goodwill will carry everything smoothly. This approach does not reduce trust, it strengthens it by removing ambiguity. When your own money is protected through clarity, relationships are less likely to suffer from misunderstanding. Is this the same CIA brain ritual changing lives in seconds? A new leak reveals a powerful 7-second technique developed under secret research. Backed by neuroscience, people are moving from debt to wealth and luxury faster than believed possible. But this secret may be deleted soon. Click the link in the comments before it disappears. I want you to also build a habit of regular review, checking your accounts and commitments consistently so that nothing can quietly drift out of alignment again. Consistency will become your shield against gradual erosion. The discipline you practice now will prevent larger corrections later. You are not living in fear of loss. You are living in awareness that prevents it. If two people from your family attempt to revisit old patterns or subtly request renewed access without accountability, respond gently but firmly with the standards you have already established. Repetition of your boundaries will reinforce their permanence. Over time, others will adjust to your steadiness because consistency communicates seriousness. Your own money will remain under your conscious management rather than passive oversight. Comment 777. When you write that phrase, you are declaring completion of the old cycle and affirmation of the new order now guiding your life. I am sealing your progress with confidence and protection. Nothing that was once hidden will easily escape your awareness again. You are walking with sharper vision and steadier footing. There is also a broader transformation unfolding because as you grow stronger in financial stewardship, you are becoming stronger in other areas where boundaries and clarity are necessary. The courage you exercised here will influence how you handle commitments, relationships, and responsibilities moving forward. One area of strengthened authority often empowers others. I'm building you into someone who can manage, increase, without vulnerability to manipulation. Your own money will now serve as a foundation rather than a source of tension. You will begin setting goals with renewed confidence, planning for growth instead of merely recovering from imbalance. The discipline you have learned will multiply over time, creating stability that extends beyond immediate correction. This stability will attract opportunities that require trustworthy and structured management. Even if there are still financial adjustments to make, Approach them with calm strategy rather than urgency or regret. Break larger goals into manageable steps and track progress consistently. Every disciplined action you take reinforces the new identity forming within you. You are no longer reacting to what two people from your family did. You are proactively shaping what comes next. I want you to remember that provision ultimately flows from me, not from any human arrangement. Even when your own money was mishandled, my ability to restore and increase was never limited. Now that wisdom and structure are in place, increase will have a safer foundation to rest upon. What you build from this point will be stronger because it is rooted in awareness. Let peace settle deeply within you as you recognize how far you have come. You are no longer confused, hesitant, or quietly burdened by suspicion. You are clear, steady, and grounded in responsible stewardship. The transformation that began with urgency has matured into lasting confidence. Walk forward with assurance that what was once vulnerable is now guarded by both discipline and discernment. The chapter of hidden drain has ended fully, and the chapter of structured growth is advancing steadily. You did not collapse under disappointment, and you did not retreat into silence, but instead you faced truth with courage and allowed growth to take place. This is how transformation becomes lasting rather than fleeting. You may notice that your thinking about finances has become more intentional, more structured, and less emotionally driven than before. That shift is not accidental, because I am refining the way you approach responsibility and stewardship. Your own money will now be treated as a strategic resource rather than an open stream that others can quietly redirect. This change protects not only your present stability, but also the future I am preparing for you. The two people from your family who once had quiet access to all of it may still carry assumptions from the past, yet assumptions lose power when boundaries remain firm. If they attempt to revisit old habits, your calm repetition of new standards will make it clear that the previous dynamic has ended. You are not obligated to explain your growth repeatedly, because consistent action speaks louder than extended justification. Stability grows when firmness is steady rather than emotional. There is a new awareness within you that will prevent gradual erosion from happening again, because you now understand how small permissions can slowly expand into significant imbalance. You have learned that oversight is not mistrust but protection, and that documentation is not coldness but clarity. These lessons will accompany you into every future financial decision. I am shaping you into someone who can handle both abundance and responsibility with equal strength. Comment 999. As you declare that phrase, you are affirming that the old cycle has been fully completed and that the new order is established in your life. I am reinforcing your resolve and strengthening your discipline so that nothing unsettles your progress. The period when two people from your family could quietly take all of it without resistance is permanently behind you. You are now operating in awareness that will not easily fade. Moving forward, you will notice that conversations about your own money feel different because you are no longer hesitant or uncertain when discussing expectations. You speak with calm clarity, outlining responsibilities and access with confidence. This shift in tone reflects the internal change that has taken place within you. Authority that is rooted in wisdom does not need to be loud to be effective. If there are lingering financial consequences from what occurred, continue addressing them with steady discipline rather than frustration. Progress may feel gradual at times, yet consistent action produces reliable results. Each month that passes under your new structure will reinforce stability and rebuild confidence. I am guiding you through restoration step by step so that it is sustainable rather than rushed. Comment 1515. Do you know why people keep whispering about this 7-second CIA ritual? A leaked brainwave method is spreading quietly and changing financial realities worldwide. Proven by neuroscience, this simple ritual attracts money, freedom, and luxury. If you're seeing this, you're so lucky. Click the link in the comments before it's taken down. When you write that phrase, you are declaring that strength and resilience are firmly established within you. I am confirming that what was once vulnerable has now become fortified by wisdom and structure. Your own money will no longer move without your informed consent and careful review. Authority has been restored fully, and it will remain anchored. You may also find that this experience has sharpened your intuition in other areas of life, because learning to protect your finances has strengthened your ability to discern patterns elsewhere. The courage you exercised here will influence how you approach commitments, partnerships, and shared responsibilities in the future. Growth in one area often expands into others. I am cultivating discernment that extends beyond money into every dimension of your life. The two people from your family may eventually adapt to the new balance, or they may create distance if they resist accountability. Whatever their response, your responsibility remains the same, which is to maintain clarity and consistency. Your peace no longer depends on others agreeing with your boundaries. Stability is built on firm foundations, not on fluctuating approval. Your own money now reflects deliberate care, structured planning, and thoughtful oversight. It is no longer surrounded by confusion or hidden drain. You have replaced silent tolerance with intentional stewardship, and that replacement will shape your financial future in powerful ways. Discipline that once felt uncomfortable now feels empowering. I want you to recognize that this journey has revealed your resilience and your capacity to grow under pressure. You did not allow disappointment to turn into bitterness or fear to turn into avoidance. Instead, you allowed awareness to lead you into structured action. That response has positioned you for greater stability than you had before the problem surfaced. As you continue forward, remember that provision ultimately flows from me, and wisdom is one of the greatest forms of provision I give. What you have gained through this experience is not only restored balance, but strengthened character. That character will guard every future blessing placed in your hands. Your own money will now be managed with foresight, rather than assumption. I am drawing this journey toward its lasting foundation, because what started as a warning about your own money has now become a permanent shift in how you carry yourself, how you think, and how you guard what is entrusted to you. When two people from your family were taking all of it, you were positioned in a place of quiet vulnerability that you did not fully recognize at the time. Now that vulnerability has been replaced with alertness, discipline, and an unshakable understanding of your responsibility. This change is not temporary emotion. It is anchored growth that will protect you for years to come. You have learned that love without boundaries can unintentionally create imbalance, and that silence in the name of peace can slowly erode stability. Your own money represents more than numbers, because it reflects your effort, your planning, and your future security. When it was mishandled, something sacred in your stewardship was disrupted, and now that disruption has been corrected with clarity and strength. You are no longer uncertain about your role as guardian of what you manage. The two people from your family who once had access to all of it may still remember the old dynamic, yet the new structure you have established will not bend easily. Your calm repetition of standards and expectations will reinforce that this change is not temporary or emotional. Stability has replaced assumption, and documentation has replaced vague understanding. You are operating from knowledge rather than blind trust. This experience has also refined your confidence, because standing up for order required courage that you did not know you possessed. Each conversation you navigated with composure strengthened your inner resolve. You now understand that firmness does not cancel kindness, and that accountability does not cancel compassion. Balance has become part of your character rather than something you struggle to maintain. Comment 1919. As you declare that phrase, you are affirming that the old chapter of silent depletion is fully complete and that you are stepping firmly into sustained stability. I am sealing this growth within you so that it becomes your natural posture moving forward. The season when two people from your family could quietly take all of it without strong boundaries has ended without return. Authority over your own money is firmly restored. Moving forward, you will approach every shared responsibility with thoughtful structure and clear expectations. You will not rush into agreements based on emotion or familiarity, but instead you will evaluate each arrangement carefully before granting access. This thoughtful pace will prevent the gradual erosion that once occurred. Patience in decision-making will become one of your strongest safeguards. If unexpected financial opportunities arise in the future, you will handle them with the same level of clarity and discipline that you have cultivated through this process. Increase will no longer intimidate you because you now understand how to protect it. Your own money will expand under structured oversight rather than shrink under silent tolerance. Growth that is guarded becomes sustainable rather than fragile. Comment 222. When you write that phrase, you are declaring alignment between your decisions and the divine order guiding your path. I am confirming that this alignment will continue protecting you beyond this specific situation. Nothing that happened has the power to undermine your future prosperity or your peace. You are walking in awareness that will serve you repeatedly. The two people from your family may eventually recognize that your new strength has brought clarity rather than conflict. Even if they never fully understand the lesson, you have already gained what matters most, which is disciplined stewardship and renewed authority.